here today to talk about the airport and its valuable contribution to Mesa's vibrant community economy. Please welcome Airport Director Corinne Nystrom and Mesa Vice Mayor, Mr. David Luna. Corinne and Dana. Corinne and David, come on up. Good to have you guys here. Yes, Corinne, please sit next to me. David's going to take over in a little while, so good to have you here.
Good to have you.
Thanks for being here. Oh, good to have you here. Give us a, if for lack of a better word, using an aeronautical term, give us a mile-high view of what's going on at the airport.
Well, Falcon Field continues to be one of the busiest general aviation airports in the United States, which general aviation means that we do not take scheduled commercial airline service. Our main role is to take aircraft that are not scheduled airlines so that the scheduled airlines can focus on Phoenix Mesa Gateway and Sky Harbor Airport. So we have over 700 aircraft based at Falcon Field. We have over 100 businesses on the airport, which doesn't, Boeing is across the street, so that's an additional 100 businesses besides Boeing. And we have over 1,300 people that work right on the airport.
Wow. It's a cool airport. Give us a little bit of the backstory. What's the history of Falcon Field?
It was originally built in 1941, before the U.S. actually entered the war after Pearl Harbor. And it was built to train British Royal Air Force pilots because England was under siege and the weather wasn't very good for training. So the United States worked out an arrangement to bring their pilot cadets over to Falcon Field and a few other airports here in Arizona, in the Phoenix area, to train them. And then after the war, the U.S. government deeded the airport to the city of Mesa for the purposes of developing it into a municipal airport, which it's been that since then.
That's awesome. Well, Vice Mayor Luna, you represent the district that the airport is in.
Yeah.
What kind of contribution or what kind of impact do they make to your district?
Well, it certainly makes a huge economic impact in our community. We're very excited. I'm really fortunate that I get to represent District 5, which has the Falcon Field Airport. And it's a great, friendly airport. If you go to the airport and work with Corinne and her staff, they really make you feel at home. And that's the kind of atmosphere that they provide. When pilots come in, they have a great terminal that they can relax, they can set their logs. Is that what they do? They set their logs. And it's just a nice place to come. Mesa's a beautiful city in Arizona. And we had probably the best weather. So during the winter months, it's probably the highlight of the Falcon Field Airport. So I'm very proud that I get to represent the airport. It's a great community asset. But I do also want to invite you to come during, when we showcase the airport in March. We have where we showcase the airport. It's the open house.
It's March 30th.
It's March 30th, and it's a great place to come and see. And you talked about, I think, aviation... Fascination. You ought to come to the open house in March, where you have a number of aircraft throughout the airport, as well as many, many, many thousands of community members taking advantage and actually acknowledging what a great place Falcon Field is.
I love Vice Mayor Luna. He's so proud of his district. Did you hear him say that the weather there is the best? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but when you drive from like Chandler to Gilbert and you pass through Mesa, it's discernibly better weather.
Oh, absolutely.
It improves when you go through.
Yeah. Well, they don't have the views of Red Mountain.
Oh, okay.
See, we have
like
Red Mountain.
Well, there you go.
Fly in, you see Red Mountain. We have such natural beauty by the Falcon Field Airport.
This guy's good. Well, I was looking at some numbers here, Corinne. From 2016, pretty impressive. There were over 270,000 takeoffs or landings at the airport. That's right. 270,000.
That's a lot.
Boy, I wish Flansburgh was here. Divided by 365 days, that's more than like a dozen a day.
A little more than a dozen a day, yes. Yes.
I mean, that's a bunch.
Yes, it's
That's impressive. Is it
very active.
just getting busier and busier?
It is, and we have a variety of users. We get a lot of corporate traffic in there. We get a lot of medical flights coming in and out of there. We have, of course, some recreational pilots that come and go. We have a lot of flight training, as do all of the other airports in the valley, again, because of the weather. And so it's really a full-service airport that has many, many types of users that use it. Mesa Police Department is based at, their aviation unit is based at Falcon Field.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And it's-
You mentioned how many businesses are at Falcon Field. I'm assuming there are business opportunities to be had out there too.
Yes, absolutely.
Would you like to kind of share that with them?
We still have some land available for aviation businesses that have a need and would like to locate at Falcon Field Airport. I know the folks at Boeing were talking about the number of suppliers that they have, and being at Falcon Field, if they locate at Falcon Field, they'll be right next to Boeing, and that's the sort of synergy that we are trying to create and maintain. Actually, the synergy's already going, but expand upon that so that we really do have an aviation niche and hub right there in that Falcon Field Boeing area.
And we also have MD Helicopter, which is located in the
MD
area.
Helicopters is there, Precision Heli
Precision
Support.
Heli support, and we have a new one that is there as well.
Got Valkyrie, there's a lot of
Wow.
businesses.
AQST, which
AQST.
we're very happy about.
That's awesome. You know, obviously those of us that have lived here a while know where you are, but for those that might be watching at home, what's the physical location of Falcon Field? What's the best place to, it's on the corner of
Greenfield and McKellips.
Greenfield and McKellar.
Yep.
Okay?
And if people are interested, we love to give tours of the airport. We really do. And so if you have a group that you would like to bring out, or you just want to take a tour yourself, just call our airport administration office and we would be delighted to schedule a time to give you a tour. We like showing the place
And
off.
we also like to invite children. There are
Oh,
so many
yes.
kids from Mesa Public Schools who love to go there. We have some special binoculars that they can come and watch the planes take off and land. So it's a great place to just spend some time there.
Yeah.
And then we have certainly the Commemorative Air Force Museum, which is right there. So if you want to see some vintage aircraft, they're there. And there's a lot of great opportunities at Falcon Field Airport.
Well, once again, when I'm out there at Aviation Fascination, which you should go to, it's really awesome. It's pretty touching to see some of the older veterans
Yes.
come in, and they go up to, and you can see the stories in their
Right.
head of,
Yes.
you know, that they or their father or their grandfather used to fly those aircraft.
Right.
Yes.
It's a pretty special place.
Right. It has a lot of history, and certainly we don't want to forget our past. And going to the airport, you get that sense of what it was like in World War II with the pilots. And we talked about November 11th. There's also a special ceremony for some of the British airmen that passed away. And there's a ceremony held at the Mesa Cemetery every year to honor those pilots that passed away during their training.
That's great to know. What's the website that they can kind of keep track of what's going on at Falcon Field? Is there a,
You can just type in Falcon Field Airport and it'll pop up.
okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Now, I'm assuming that since you're the big shot at the airport, do you get flown everywhere you need to go? Or do you?
No, I haven't been able to take a ride on the Apache either.
Why do you say either? Because I'm going to make that happen. So when I do, I'll make sure.
Let me know how
Yeah.
you arrange
I'd like to
that.
be invited as well.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I think there's 4 seats in the Apache.
yeah. Look at the three
No,
of us.
Vern is saying no.
They're saying 2 seats.
Oh, 2 seats.
Well,
Well,
so-
you know, look at us. We can
Yeah, we
fit in
could,
one
yeah,
seat.
we could, yeah, exactly.
We both can fit
That
in
was
one
a joke that I was going to. I just said that's
Well, it
too
didn't
easy.
stop Yvonne
He beat you
Martinez.
to it.
I didn't want to tell you, it was a low-hanging fruit, which is the only kind you can enjoy.
That's exactly right.
In our case, we need a ladder.
We need a ladder.
Well, the reason I ask, I'm assuming then you drive wherever you go.
I do. Well, unless it's really far away.
And it's messy out there today. You're going to have a dirty car. Well, we've got the solution to that. Corinne, I'd like to give you, well, Cobblestone, one of our great members, would like to give you a $100 detail gift card
Oh, thank you.
to spiff your car up.
All right.
And
you.
David, we have one for you too, but this comes with a contingency on it. It's only if you're willing to change seats with me, or actually take over my seat and close out the rest of the show, because I have to go and take an Apache helicopter
Yeah.
to the airport so I can go to Anchorage. But before I do leave, and before I invite David, and by the way, this is look at me, I pull this off once a month. I'm a trained chimp. and when I'm not doing it, Mayor Giles is, so you know it's easy. I'm looking at the camera. We do thank you. This next round of applause is for you guys for all that you do, both at Falcon Field and also for keeping them in line in your district there and keeping the weather so fine.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. How about a big round of applause for Corinne Nystrom?